What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode following the GMNF series. We are here in the 2027-28 season. The Boston Bruins, we missed out on the playoffs the last couple of seasons, the last 3 seasons to be exact, I believe. Because 24-25 is when we started. We made the playoffs there. 25-26 we missed, and 26 and 27. So actually, we only missed 2 seasons. So we missed 2 seasons. We are here in our 4th attempt, or our 3rd and a half season, where we're trying to make the playoffs. We got some new players. We got a new roster. We're ready to take on season 4, which is 27-28. We just got to re-sign to our deal, a 5-year deal, so we don't have to worry about getting fired anytime soon, but I still think they can fire us. We made some additions. We don't know how good Ehlers is going to be. That's going to be a big question mark. Is he going to be enough to help us this season? Is Swayman going to carry us? These new rookies that we have coming in, Vilchinski and Sasha. Will Sasha see the NHL? I don't know. Vilchinski, will he be a good addition to the defense as a rookie? We don't know yet. We'll see. It's plenty to discuss and figure out. Our preseason roster, though, this is what our preseason roster is going to look like. As you know, we need 8 players that have been in the NHL and qualify for the veteran minimum, which Matthew Patras is going to qualify. He's one of the 8. You got one there. Maverick Bork is another. Mitten, it does not qualify. Enstrom does not qualify. So you only got 2 there. Kuznetsov does qualify. That is 3. You got Beecher who qualifies. That's 4. Thomas, we're not too sure. Thomas, taking a look. He does not qualify, it looks like. Yes, he does not qualify. So we only got the 4 for so far. We need 4 more. Jekko won't qualify. Walensky won't qualify. Ehlers will qualify. Now, he's a veteran. We got to figure out what his overall is, so we're going to have him play in the preseason. And that is 5. Taking a look at the goalies, we got Swayman, who qualifies, obviously. And then we got Riddick, who actually does qualify, I believe. He only played 17 last year, but he has 100 NHL games. So Riddick does qualify. So you got 2 there, and then you got the 4, you got 5, so you got 7 altogether. Do we have 1 defenseman that qualifies? Masters does not qualify. Vilchinski does not qualify. Sasha does not qualify. What about Hunt? Does Damian Hunt qualify? He had 12 games. Nope, he does not qualify. Brunei does not qualify. So it looks like we're going to need 1 more person to qualify, because Warner does not qualify either. So that being said, we're going to need 1 more person to qualify. And we're probably going to go with one of the forwards. Drop out one of the forwards that do not qualify, like Boilard, the young rookie. Or maybe we could go with Jekko or Thomas. We also could go with Merkulov, since he's not going to develop much more. So let's go with Merkulov. He's not going to develop much more, so he's not going to get the camp invite. And let's bring up somebody that qualifies. We could go with Kyle Palmieri, potentially. Yeah, let's go with Kyle Palmieri. So that will be our qualified roster. So taking a look at the roster in whole, we got Patras, Bork, Mitten, Enstrom, Luterno, Kuznetsov, Palmieri, Beecher, Thomas, Jekko, Walensky, Boilard. You got Gentz and Ehlers for the forwards. The defensemen, you got Masters, Vilchinski, Sasha Bomendine. You got Hunt, Brunei, Warner, and Dingle. Taking a look at the goalies, you got Swayman and Riddick as our goalies. And as you can see on the right hand side, we got our top 5 prospects as we know it right now. Sasha is number 1 because he won't be in the NHL this year. Vilchinski will be, Mitten will be, and so will Luterno, so they won't qualify. We get Elton Hermanson, who will be in the SHL. We got Corey Walensky, who will have his first season in the AHL. We got Adam Jecko, the newcomer that we just traded for in the AHL. Right now, he looks like a top prospect. That might change based on what we learned. Frederick Brunet is the last top prospect in that top 5. Him and Max Warner are both tied for 5th. No player efficiency ratings yet. That's to be determined after the 2-month sim. NHL owner goals, we don't have that yet. We're going to wait until the regular season hits. And then the AI owner goals, we're going to improve the locker room chemistry to 90. We got to get a established power play that's top 10 in the league. We got to enhance the arena level happiness to 90, the fan level happiness of the arena to 90. And then we got to develop young players. That means call up 2 AHLers within the season. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. We'll take a look. We're going to go best NHL lines. And this is what your preseason lines are going to look like. You got Ehlers, Mitten, and Palmieri. You got Bork, Beecher, and Edstrom. You got Kuznetsov, who actually got Seeing Eye. I believe that's what that's called. No, it's Third Eye. What am I saying? That's Third Eye. So he got Third Eye. And then you got Patras, who got It's Tricky, Tape to Tape, and Puck on a String. And then you got Laterno. You got Walensky, Thomas, and Bolyard as the last 3 on that 4th line. You got Vilchinski and Brunet as the top line D. You got Warner and Boumadine. You got Hunt and Masters there. And then obviously in net, you're going to have Swayman. So that is going to be our preseason roster. Let's go ahead and sim day by day, because if there is an injury, we want to see it. As you can see, we got the owner goals, but that's based on the current roster. I do want to make sure that we have the line changes on minimal, because when you put it on yes, then they start to make roster moves without your consent. So making sure it's on minimal so we get all these rookies playing in this preseason. We weren't able to get the AHL goalie Joshua Adamski, our head coach, who had a good season, not a bad season at all. So let's talk about a season goal with him. He said that we should compete for a cup, and I agree with that. Taking a look at the preseason, we want them to focus on, we got to get that power play up. So let's go with power play. Get that focus on power play. We got to get that to top 10. So power play it's going to be. Maverick Bork wants to have a conversation. I want to make sure we're still on the same page. Top 6 forward or never scratched. So never scratched. I didn't promise a top 6 forward. I didn't promise it on this contract, so I don't even know why we're having that type of conversation with Maverick Bork. And if he don't like it, he could get traded at this point. All right, so we weren't able to get goalie coaches. We're getting offered Miles Wood for Jack Skilly and Thomas. I'm going to decline that. We don't even know what Skilly. Skilly was our 16th overall pick. Of course, we're not going to trade him for Miles Wood at this point. Advance today. We also got to do our season goals for our players. We should already did that. All right, so we get 1 goalie coach. And we get 2 goalie coaches. So we got a full staff. 6th and the 7th for Kalinin, and a 3rd. Is that that's a goaltender we just got. Doesn't look like he's gonna be too good. All right, day by day, we'll see how we do. We gotta allocate the budget. We're not gonna touch it yet until we see how much money we have to spend for upgrading the arena, which we might have to actually do either way, because one of our goals for our AI is to get that arena level happiness up to a 90, which seems like it's going to be impossible to do. And we're going to continue the sim. The lines are set to minimum. Gonna get a shootout loss there. Don't worry about the owner goals yet. Just gonna get to the end of the preseason and then take a look at some of the stats. All right, so Do we still have an option for season goals? Okay, this is the perfect spot. We still have options for season goals. Let's take a look at some of the stats from the preseason, see who was performing pretty well. You look at Kyle Palmieri, 7 games played, he had 7 points, performing really well. He's going to sit on that 4th line. He is a sniper, though. We were hoping he would be a two-way forward. He does have good defense, though. 89 stick check, 85 defensive awareness. He'll be fine. You got Ehlers, who is reading as an 82 overall. If that's the case, we are in big trouble because we're expecting him to play first line minutes. He had 5 points in 7 games. You had Mitten, who had 5 points in 7 games. He's going to take over that second line left wing. You got Edstrom, who had 4 points in 7 games. Beecher with 3 and 7. Bork with 3 and 7. Patras had 2 and 7. You definitely want more out of him. Zaka played a game. You have a few guys playing a game there. You got Sasha, who had 1 point, and Kuznetsov, who had 1 point. Taking a look at the goalies, you had Riddick and Swayman. Swayman with a 9-2-3 and a 2-2-1. Looks to be playing pretty well. Vilchinski didn't have any goals or points or assists or anything like that, but he was a +3, so that's not bad. With that being said, let's take a look at the main roster. We already did that off air, basically. We got Pasternak, obviously. We're going to go by forwards first. Pasta, Patras, Lindholm, Zaka, Bork, Mitten, Letourneau, Kuznetsov, Ehlers, Palmieri, Beecher, Edstrom, and Thomas. And then you also got Yankrook there. Taking a look at the defensemen, you got Charlie McAvoy, Hampus Lindholm, Henry Yokiharu, Middleton, Jensen, Vilchinski, and Hunt. So Vilchinski will get the start in the NHL over Sasha, because Vilchinski's a defensive defenseman and Sasha's an offensive defenseman, and I feel like it's easier to implement a defensive defenseman early on. So we'll let Sasha develop a little bit more. You got Riddick and Swayman, and your lines are going to look like this, which we don't even know what the lines are going to look like yet. So we're going to go ahead and go the head coach preferred lines. So he has Ehlers, Lindholm, and Pasta. He has Bork, Zaka, and Palmieri. Then he has Kuznetsov, Patras, and Yankrook. And then he's got Mitten, Beecher, and Edstrom. So we are going to request a move. Dean Letourneau is going to play. So what we're going to do is, who is going to sit Yankrook? So we put Dean Letourneau in. We're going to make a couple requests. We're going to request Dean Letourneau to the third line center, and Patras to the right wing on that second line. And that will be the 2 requests that we make. Mitten as well. Mitten will go up to that second line left wing, because we're not going to have Palmieri be that second line left wing. Other than that, we're not going to request any other changes. We are going to make sure Vilchinski fits this a little bit better, if he is okay with not fitting the scheme. And he's going to be a douche about it. So let's take a look at Jensen. Where's Jensen on this? All right, let's see if we get him to fit the third line scheme. And he's a douche about it too. So we'll give it time, and then we'll try again later on in the season. But your defensive pair is going to be Middleton, McAvoy, Yokiharu, Lindholm, Vilchinski, and Jensen. And they got, for a power play, Lindholm, Kuznetsov, Patras, McAvoy, and Pasternak on power play line 1. Power play line 2, you got Ehlers, Zaka, Bork, Lindholm, and Palmieri. And then the 4-man, we're not going to go through the 4-man and everything else. So we're going to have a conversation with our head coach already. So we got a few changes we want to make, which we can't do until we get to the regular season. So actually, let's go ahead and end this conversation and sim to the regular season, and then we'll have that conversation. All right, sim to regular season. No, we don't need to stop simulating. All right, we're here in the regular season. Now we could have that conversation with our head coach. Game plan, preferred lines, the forwards, line 2, left wing. You want it to be Fraser Mitten. Boom. Right wing, we want it to be Matthew Patras. Wait, wherever Matthew Patras is. Boom. Then new topic. I'm gonna go to line 3. And the one thing we want out of that is we want Dean Letourneau taking line 3 on that line. And I think that's it. I think whatever else he picks is cool with us. So with the conversation being done, the new lines are gonna look like Ehlers, Lindholm, Pasta, Mitten, Zacha, Patras, Bork, Letourneau, and Kuznetsov. Then you got Enstrom, Beecher, and Palmieri. So Patras, could have a talk with Patras real quick. A couple talks, right? So on ice play, position, want him to learn how to play right wing. He says no thank you, which is fine. On ice play, let's see if we could, we did not want to change the play style. How was his sentence? 5, 3.5 of 5. His senses are good. We're not gonna have him change his play style. We're gonna see if he can scheme fit, but we can't even have that conversation yet. So he wasn't able to scheme fit. Let's see if we could get Mitten to switch positions. First, let's do scheme fit. He says no thank you, which is fine. We'll just go screw ourselves. Position, left wing. He says no thank you again, so that's a good start. That is a good start. Who else do we need to change? Kuznetsov. He could play left wing, so he's actually good there. Could we change his primary position though? He's a scheme fit for line 2. We want him to be a scheme fit for line 3. So let's see if he's able to do that. He says yes. Line 3. And I could believe it. Okay, so he's not going to do that for us, even though he was okay with it. He said, I want to be a second line player. We want to talk about the position he plays. Change position. Left wing. Okay, and he doesn't want to do that either. So these guys are being a little tough so far this season. Dean Letourneau fits the first line, doesn't fit line 3, but let's see if we could have his on-ice play reflect line 3. He says no thank you, and I think we're good there, so we're not going to have him switch positions. We're good with him playing center with that 6'7" frame he has. I think we already had the conversation with Maverick Bork. No, we didn't. Scheme fit? He says yes. Can you fit line 3? He's going to tell me no. Okay. Again, another person that is not working with the team. Enstrom fits line 2. Definitely not going to play in line 2. So can we get him to scheme fit line 4? He says yes, sir. Now let's see what he says when we say line 4. He says game on. Perfect. So we at least get a scheme fit there. Gonna help out that last line a little bit. How about Kyle Palmieri? Time to meeting on ice play. And he changes play style. Let's do scheme fit first. He says yes. Scheme fit line 4. He sees himself contributing on a higher line. Let's go on ice play. Let's see if he's okay with changing his play style. He says no thank you. Okay, so that ain't happening. Did we already talk to Ehlers? So Nikolai Ehlers doesn't fit line 1. Let's see if we could get him to fit line 1 though. Perfect. Okay, perfect. So he fits line 1. And I think Lindholm already fits line 1 perfectly, so we don't have to touch Lindholm. Pastrnak fits line 1. Lindholm fits line 1, so we're good there. We get +5 to that. Defensively, well, let's see if we can get this second line going. Both Jokiharju needs to fit the second line a little bit better. See if he's open to a scheme fit change. He says yes, line 2. Perfect. So we're gonna get the +5 to line 2, which is huge. +3. Gonna get a +5. I don't know how we get a +5. Probably a scheme fit and fit into the player a little bit better. Goalies wise, we don't need a touch. And we already tried the third power play pair. Not power play, defensive pair. What am I saying? Power play pair. Defensive pair. We already tried to get them to scheme fit. They're not really into it. Tried them both. All right. So that being said, those are our lines for the NHL. Taking a look at the AHL. Our AHL lines are going to go as such. Offensively, you got Merkulov, Harrison, and Denisenko. You got Robertson, Thomas, and Poulin. You got Walensky, Bolyard, and Ralston. You got Jekko, Gent, and Milne. You got a couple of guys on the bench that we would like to see. Lamb is on the bench. Hopefully, you get some development from there. Defensively, you got Warner, Brunet, you got Sasha and Brunet, you got Warner and Hutton, you got Dingle and Masters are your defensive pairs. We would like to see Bobrovsky or Brizgalov, but at this time we're not going to be able to see them get too much playing time, so maybe we stop moving out some of these defensemen. But we are ready to see our owner goals. We're going to advance a day. Maverick Bork is upset because he's not playing that second line. It's okay. It was out of my hands, which it wasn't. We actually made it happen. He wasn't playing the second line. We even promised that in this contract. So taking a look at our owner goals. Our owner goals are as such. I want us to advance to the Stanley Cup final. That's the primary. Beat our rival Montreal Canadiens in their first regular season meeting. Get the team store needs. The team store needs a little bit to be a little bit nicer. Upgrade the store to by one level, and we need more parking area. Upgrade the parking lot by one level. So we get a couple of operations that we have to do with the arena. I'm gonna get that up as high as we can. I'm gonna turn down scout travel because we don't have a lot of scouts as it is. No reason for us to have that much money into scout travel. We're going to turn down promotions. We got no AI goals towards it either. We could turn down advertising as well. Okay. Put that money back into advertising. Save the budget. So we got a bunch for arena operations. So let's upgrade and maintain. Let's see what we can upgrade right now. Parking lot 1 is almost ready to get repaired. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. Get that done. And the team store. Can we upgrade that now? We can. So we upgrade the team store in the parking lot. We should get those 2 goals easy, which is nice. And it should work as well to the enhance the arena level happiness. So that should work to that as well. All right, the lines are all set. The roster's all set. The one thing we got to do before we start the sim is update our trading block. But we won't put overall because we don't get any idea of that. So a first line forward, that's the main thing, and we'll see what we get for first line forwards, and maybe we can start moving some things around. We don't need any picks. Do we need anything else? I think that's good, just a first line forward, honestly. And that's our trading block right now. Kuznetsov is a medium elite, so you're gonna see a lot of guys lose some morale from being put on the trading block, but that's fine. So our trading block's up to date, our lines are set, we're ready to tackle this season, and hopefully we make it back to the playoffs. If not, we're going to can the coach because we're not canning ourselves at this point. So talking about the season, we're not going to do a calendar sim because then it doesn't tell us when people get injured. So we'll do a day by day sim. Day by day. Actually, you know what? What we can do to actually, for sure, no one stuff's happening, is we're gonna turn that edit lines to no, because what's gonna happen is now they're gonna tell us when somebody's injured, and all we have to do is put head coach preferred line, so it's easy enough to deal with. Yeah, how many injuries we get. We didn't mean to jump into the sim, but we'll sim through it quick. 4-3 after 2, and we get a 4-3 win to start off. I saw Nikolai Ehlers with a goal in this game. Ehlers had a goal and an assist, so good job by him. Good job by that whole first line. You had the 2 players with 3 points, so good game by them. Passed, we upgraded the parking level, so perfect. We got more funds. We also upgraded the team store, so we got more funds. Hampus Lindholm injured his groin. He will be out for a little bit, so We'll have the head coach replace the player. And like I said, we're going to go day by day to the next month. Not sim the game slowly. As another 4-3 win against the Blues. That's huge for us. Sign off hot, 2-0. Our power play is top 10, which is one of our goals. We got a third and Warner for a third and a fifth. So why not just do a fifth for Warner? We're going to hold on to Warner for now. See if we can get a better trade. Hampus Lindholm is available to play next game. We're going to best lines that. Sim this game. We don't need to see the draft class. So we get our first loss, not the end of the world. Let's sim to next game. Can we take down the Caps? Get a win there. It might be a little bit longer for the sim, but at least Vilchinski is injured. He'll be out until October 28th, so not too long. So that's good. He won't be gone too long for us. The rookie getting injured already. We're 4-1, starting off pretty well. Let's see if that continues. Oh, we didn't mean to sim the game. Oh, we didn't mean to jump in. After 1, it's 0-0. 1-0 after 2, and a 2-2 going into overtime. Who's gonna win it? We win it in the shootout. Kusnadinov buries the shootout winner. So shout out Kusnadinov doing his part. Jeremy Swayman has been injured. He'll be out till November 16th. That is tough. So we lose our starting goalie until November 16th, which isn't that long, but whenever you lose a starting goalie, it's always bad. The best lines the NHL. Let's go ahead and advance them to the next game. Vilchinski is available. We're going to best lines. Advance a day. Get a 3-2 win against Minnesota, and we finish the month. And we lose Pastrnak. Not too long though. He's only out for a little bit. With a 2-1 win. So in month 1, we went 7-1. We have the 13th most, we're 13th for goals for. We're 2nd in goals against per game. We're 11th in power play, 4th in penalty kill. Taking a look, we're leading the division with that 7-1 record. We're tied with the Maple Leafs at the time. Pasternak's leading us with points with 9. Defensive points, Charlie McAvoy's got 4. You got 4 goals from Pastrnak, 8 assists from Lindholm. You also got 5 points from Fraser Minten in those 7 games. So he's playing well. And you got 5 wins from David Riddick, who's got a .930 save percentage and a 1.88 goals against average. So doing pretty well. We're gonna jump into the second sim the second month, and then we're gonna take a look at some of the league stats and things like that. So 7-1 record in the first month, playing really well. I actually, before we continue, let's take a look at the AHL. I'm forgetting all about them. So the AHL team as well, 7-1 in the first month. They're 6th in goals for, 8th in goals against. They're 7th in power play, 4th in penalty kill. They are playing really, really well. The Merkulov is leading the team with points with 9 in 7 games. You have Brunet, the leading defenseman, with 4 points. You got Merkulov has 4 goals. Ralston has 6 assists. Robertson, the rookie, with 5 points, and then Skarek has 3 wins for the AHL squad. So the AHL and the NHL squad both performing really, really well right now. So that's good. I'm gonna have the Buffalo Sabres come to town. We're 8-1. We move on to 9-1. This team is on a roll after a couple of seasons of just pure dread. And David Pastrnak's ready to play his next game. That's perfect timing. I don't know if he played in that game. I would assume it's this game that he's back in. We lose that one. Only an overtime loss, so we get the point at least. Beat the Canucks 5-3. We get offered 2/3 for our 2/3 and Warner. That's the one. We don't want to move the right side. We want to move the left side, and they're continuously coming for the right side defenseman. So let's go ahead and advance a day. See how we do against Columbus. We're not going to take a look at the draft class yet. We win against Columbus. That's huge. Against the Kings, Lindholm gets injured. He'll be out for a little bit. Seems like he's always getting injured. And Swayman's available, so we'll best lines that. That being said, let's go to our roster moves. get the goalie, the backup goalie, sent down. Fortunately, he's going to go through waivers, but hopefully he doesn't get claimed on us. All right, we got the Philadelphia Flyers, 6-7-1. Can we take him out? Vilchinski has back spasms. He'll be out for a little bit. Didn't we just lose Lindholm? Yes, we did. So we're going to need another defenseman. Let's go ahead and advance today before we do that. No, you know what? We'll do it while we're here. So we're probably going to call up Sasha. Take a look at the defenseman and who's eligible without being sent through waivers. You got Sasha, who's eligible, and then you got Dingle, who's eligible. You also got Loki Johansson, who's a 69 overall, 21 years of age. Dingle is 20 as well. Is he a defensive defenseman? He is. So let's call up Dingle. Let Sasha keep cooking. Just in case we have to send Dingle down right away, ain't no big deal. So best lines in the NHL. Ehlers is an 88 overall. That's huge for us. We'll take a better look at all our players after this month. So we win against Philadelphia. We play Winnipeg. And David Pastrnak goes down once again, so he'll be out until the 22nd. Lindholm is back and ready to play, so that's perfect. That being said, let's go ahead and bring down Dingle again. We don't want Dingle to sit there and not play. So Dingle's gonna get sent down. Hunt looks terrible, so that's not good. Going to our next game against the Caps. Sitting here at 12-2-2, so we're playing really, really well. We lose against the Caps, who are actually terrible this season. David Pastrnak's ready, though, so that's perfect. Perfect timing. We lose one without him. And Vilchinski is available again. We're getting offered a third. We're getting offered a fourth and a fifth for a third and Warner. I don't know how that benefits us. 4-3 win against Nashville. That's huge. Against the Ducks, you get a 1-0 win. I swear this is the team. After a lot of pain, I think we got the team. I think we're where we need to be. Patras is going to go down for a little bit, a couple games. Vancouver, another win. We are cooking. Patras just missed the game. I like these. I was just going to say, I don't know about these injuries, but I like them because they're all short injuries. Then once in a while you get a long one. This seems realistic to the NHL. All right, so we got the Edmonton Oilers 14-6-2. We're sitting there at 16-3-2. Absolutely cooking so far this season. Lose that game, and then we get to December 1st with a 17-4-2 record. We're 7th in goals for, we're 8th in goals against, we're 7th in power play, we are 1st in penalty kill. Taking a look at our team, we are 1st in the division at it with a 17-4-2 record. Adamski is doing his damn thing. Take a look at the points. We're gonna get a better look at the points for the whole team. So Lindholm in 23 games has 29 points. He has 7 goals and 22 assists. You got Pastrnak, who has 10 goals, 14 assists for 24 points. You got Charlie McAvoy with 2 goals and 20 assists for 22 points in 23 games. You got 19 points in 23 games for Ehlers. You got Zacha, who has 14 and 23. You got Kuznetsov with 11 so far this season. You got Patras, who has 11 in 22 games. You got Fraser Mitten, who has 7 and 23. You got Dean Letourneau with 7 and 23. So the two rookies both on the same page. Kyle Palmieri has 7 points. Maverick Bourque with 6 points. Lindholm with 6 as well. Hampus Lindholm, you got Yoki Hara with 5. You got Middleton with 4. He's a plus 15. You got Beecher, who's a -8 with 4 points, and you got Yankrook, who's a -6 with 4 points. Edstrom, 4 points, -3. Jensen is a +3 with 3 points. Hunt is a -5 with 1 point, and Vilchinski, the rookie, has 1 point and a +1, so not too bad. Taking a look at the goalies, Riddick has a 11-1-1 record, 2 shutouts, a 9.25, and a 209 goals against. Swayman has 3 losses, but he has a 5-3 record with a 9.39 and a 182. So it's not for the lack of trying. He has a good stat line. So taking a look at the goalies right now, leader in save percentage, you have, let's do at least 5 games. At least 5 games. A 941 from Lindgren. That is insane. A 941. It looks like he's played all their games. 21 games played. A 941 and a 1.58. You got Huso with a 940 and a 1.88. Swayman's number 4 with a 939 and a 182. Taking a look at goals against, the lowest is Lindgren with a 158. You got Dreider with a 168. The lowest save percentage, you got Biddington in 5 games with an 843. You got Pickard with an 871. Goals against, Biddington with a 504 is the worst. Taking a look at the defenseman, the leading point getter for defenseman right now is Charlie McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy with 22 points in 23 games is leading the way. Then you have Morgan Riley, and then you have Jake Sanderson and Cale Makar. You also have Brock Faber in there as well. Taking a look at the rookie skaters before we get to the regular forwards, the leader right now is Adam Bennett, who has 16 points in 21 games. You have Caven, who has 13, O'Reilly, who has 12, Michael Misa, who was in that first draft class, who has 10 points in 19 games. Looks like a medium elite, 87 overall. Looks like he's going to be really good. You got Bieksa, who has 10 points in 20 games. You got Lambert, who has 10, McKinney, who has 9, Cole McKinney. You got Burchild, who has 9. You got Fondrick, who has 9. You also have Kisakov, who has 9. Eklund has 9. So you got to go a little bit of ways before you get to one of our guys. You got McKenna. Gavin McKenna finally getting his debut. He's got 8 points in 18 games. And Fraser Mitten with 7, and then you also got Dean Letourneau with 7. So both of those doing pretty well, but not leading the league when it comes to rookies. Taking a look at the league leaders, Austin Matthews with 29 points in 23 games. Lindholm with 29 points in 23 games. Number 2, you got Pasta right behind him with 24. Nylander with 24. You got Nishkinen, who has 23. Holtz has 23. McAvoy with 22. Heischer with 21. And Robertson with 21. You also have Lehkonen with 21. Rossi with 21, and then you fall to 20 with Hagel. So those are the league leader in points. I also want to take a look. We get to see what those draft picks, the draft picks that we made this season, are they good? What is their potential? We're going to take a look right now, and we're going to see some of our players and see some of their progression. Actually, we could do that from the progression screen instead of doing it like that. So let's go to the progression screen. So you got Pasternak, who's up 8. We're going to go by overall. It says he's up 8, but he might actually be regressing. He lost some defensive awareness, but he has a lot of natural growth still. You got McAvoy, who's up to a 94, playing fantastic. Swayman's up to a 92. Lindholm is up to an 89. He's playing fantastic as well. He's got a lot of morale growth. You got Ehlers, who's up to an 88. Lindholm's at 87. Zaka's at 87. You also have Kusnadinov, who's up to an 87. He's the top 6 medium. I know we looked at it. It said elite for a second, but he says it's at 87. He's got a lot of statistical growth. And it's all statistical growth. So we'll see if that goes down. He's up to an 87 right now. You got Patras, who's up to an 87. He's still a top 6 medium. You got Bork, who's a top 6 medium. He's up to an 86. He's got some regression, actually, from statistical regression. You got Middleton, who's at 85. Jensen, who's at 84. You got Fraser Mitten, who's at 84. He's a top 6 medium. He has some morale growth, but no natural or statistical growth right now. Dean Letourneau's up to an 84, a top 6 medium. You got Beecher, who's up to an 83. It looks like he's got some natural growth, so that's huge because that sticks. That doesn't go away. You got Vilchinski up to an 83, top 4 medium. It's not showing his growth though. You got Riddick, who's at 81. You got Palmieri, who's at 81. Yan Crooks 81. Enstrom, the 6'7" forward we brought in, he's got some natural growth. He's up to an 80. Thomas is a 79, and Hunt is actually a 76. He's a top 6 medium. Taking a look at the system, you got Sasha, who's at 82, top 4 medium. You got Merkulov, who's still at 81. Hermanson, who's up to a 79, and he's a top 6 medium, so he'll be a good addition next season. Probably spend a season in the AHL before he gets called up. You got Denisenko, who's a 79. Poulin, Skarek, Harrison, who's up to a 78, so that's some good growth from a two-way forward. Him growing is going to be huge for us. Brunet's a 78 still. Warner's still a 78, so not a lot of growth there. 77 for Bussy. Robertson's a 75. Rolston's still a 75. Milne is a 75. Masters is a 75. Dingle is a 74. He's a top 6 medium, a guy we got to keep our eye on. Walensky has gone up a little bit. He's now a 74. Starters is a 72. If he grows into somebody good with that low elite potential, that's going to be huge for this team. He's up to a 74. Rogowski is up to a 73. So he had some growth, I think a good amount actually. I think he was mid 60s to late 60s. Jekyll's up to a 72. I think he was a 71 to start, so not a lot of growth. Jackson Edwards, a 72. I know Bolliard was a 67. He's up to a 69. Johansson is a 69. Not seeing the ice too much, so he's not getting development. Bobrovsky as well as a 69. I think he's got a little bit of development. You got Isaac Pohl, who we traded for. Oh, actually, no. Was this a draft pick of ours? 2027 draft pick, yeah, 2027. He's an AHL top 2D, so we missed out on him. Lamb is a bottom 6 forward. He's up to a 66. Brzgalov up to a 66. So you got Skilly, who's a top 6 medium forward. He's a 66 right now. So this was our 16th overall pick. Not too bad. A 66 overall, top 6 medium. You got Sedin, who's up to a 65. He's a top 6 medium right D. You got Gentz, who's up to a 65. He's a bottom 6 forward. You got another top 6 low right D when it comes to Singh. You've got McGinn, who is one of our draft picks from this past draft. He's a top 9 medium, 18-year-old. So hopefully he develops pretty nicely. Also says, does it say what his play style is? It does not. Kaiser's a 63. Peterson is a 60. Probably not going to make the team or ever get signed. You got Chabarov, who is a French starter, medium French starter, and he's a 60. You got Kalinin, who's a 59, 19-year-old, probably not going to see the team either. You got a bottom 6, 19-year-old that has 57, bottom 6, who's a 56, 20-year-old in Bednar. You got Eskalinen, who's a 7th defenseman, one of our draft picks, if I'm not mistaken, yet 2027. Kalinin and Moran were also draft picks, as well as Chabarov. And we missed on a couple of these. And LaRose, oh, actually, we got Solani, who's a bottom 6 forward. He's a 54 overall, and LaRose, who is a bottom 6 forward, 51 overall. So you got a lot of guys that are probably not going to make it. We didn't have a good draft this past draft. I'll be the first to admit it. So unable to get a good draft. The lines are doing well. We're playing really well, so there's nothing going to change in the NHL. So we should pick it up with the same lines. We're going to have the top 5 in player efficiency as well, and maybe we make some changes after that. Taking a look at the AHL, because we didn't go over them, we are now sitting at 13-3-2. The AHL team's also cooking. 4th in goals for, 9th in goals against, 5th in power play, 1st in penalty kill, which is huge. The penalty kill on both sides are cooking. We're in first place at 13-3-2. We're tied with the Islanders right now. Merkulov's got the most points for the team with 17. You got Brunet, who has 9. Merkulov with 7 goals. Merkulov with 10 assists as well. Harrison has 13 points so far. He's leading all rookies. Taking a look at the league leaders, Merkulov actually makes the top 10. He's number 3 with 17. Actually number 4 with 17 points. Other than that, goals, he is number 9 with 7 assist. He is that Tyler Seguin? Tyler Seguin is in the AHL right now. He is number 10 with 10. And then goalie wins leaders, we don't have one of our players up there, so not a lot going on with the goalies. As you can see, Scaredneck with a 914 and a 210 with a 6 wins in 9 games played. So they seem to be splitting time a lot in the AHL. But that's the NHL, that's the AHL. What we're gonna do is wrap it up here. Start the next episode, we'll have the player efficiency ratings. We'll talk about, you know, potential roster moves, maybe updating the trading block. We'll talk about the coach as well, and then we'll jump into more sim. But that's gonna do it for us here. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll catch you next time.